The most anticipated moment of the year has finally arrived. A devastating punch from a crazy old man that's capable of destroying an entire island. Are you ready for the galaxy impact? Episode 1114 kicks off with Kobe surrounded by a bunch of lowlifes with no future. He was completely screwed, not just because he was outnumbered, but also because the kid was tied up with a ball and chain. But at the most crucial moment, a girl with a Hello Kitty and Care Bears look appears on the rooftop. The pirates aim their firepower at Kobe's chest, and he makes a leap. Only, he forgot to jump after they shot, and they all open fire on him without him being able to dodge. But suddenly, all the bullets turned into flowers, and the boss was left all cute and confused with that pretty flower. But he still asked what the heck was going on. This hippo-looking guy says it was an invention by Dr. Vegapunk that earned him the Nobel Peace Prize. But that's probably not what they wanted to hear. It was Hibari, the cutie, who was on the rooftop shouting for Kobe to stay with her. But she quickly turned all red, saying she didn't mean it like that. She shot off the spring flowers and told the kid to escape while they couldn't attack. And if he's hungry, she's got a lunchbox for him. Rice with roast chicken to keep the kid all jacked. Meanwhile, on another rooftop, there was this weirdo oozing mud from his hands. His name was Prince, but he looked more like the budget Zoro. He was on a Discord call with the crew and said the rescue the nerd mission was a success. This bush-haired guy was spawning those creepy clay marines, and of course, it was him who sent those clay marines. He said they were going to kill two birds with one stone because not only were they saving Kobe, but they were also going to arrest that bunch of losers who've never even seen a work ID. The pirates wanted to get out of there before they ended up in the slammer, but when they looked around, they were trapped inside a circle of buildings. You thought that princess was just whipping the building for fun? You don't know anything, kid. She was setting up a trap for those scoundrels the whole time. The classic Arapuka. And now it's time for the great hero to shine, right? Tashiji says everything's ready, and Helmeppo, shaking in his boots, tells everyone to hold on tight. Everyone's got their methods, right? While Frankie installed the galactic fart to make the Sunny take off, old man Garp goes with good old-fashioned brute force. He punches the air, creating a gust of wind that makes the ship take off at the speed of light. Back on the island, Hibari throws down a ladder and tells Kobe to climb up already, but the kid stands there for half an hour and asks if they came to rescue him. No, you idiot! They came just to arrest the pirates and then throw you into the sea with that cannonball so you can sink along with your incompetence. You baboon! So he thanks them, and Hibari gets this look like, oh my god, I want to marry this moron. The pirates were losing their minds, and Kobe didn't understand a thing, but as soon as he looked up, he went completely nuts, because there was simply a marine ship with a pitbull head flying through the sky. Shiryu and the drunk Vasco shot were just watching and thinking, that guy's got guts. The scumbags started running because that little boat was about to turn them into mashed pudding, but everyone stopped to see that monster on top of the dog. Wasn't he supposed to be retired? Yeah, but the legendary hero didn't care. Garp was cracking up, shouting at Kobe that he was here to save him. The kid was in disbelief, and the island was looking like a pirate anthill, but it was about to become a graveyard, because the old man activated his Super Saiyan mode and came walking with Conqueror's Haki at full power. He jumped off the ship, preparing a sinister punch that shined like a shooting star. Kobe couldn't believe Gramps was doing this for him, and Garp asked who they thought they kidnapped. By this time, that bunch of losers had already crapped their pants. Then the old man says that Kobe isn't just the future of the Marines, he's also his young grasshopper, and now they're going to pay. And if you're smart, you'll put on a helmet and fasten your seatbelt because the devil's punch has arrived. The old man came in with a punch so terrifying it turned into outer space itself. He was falling like a meteor, screaming Galaxy Impact 2, and he wiped that island off the face of the earth, obliterated all the buildings, pirates, and sent everything flying, including Kobe, who was flailing around like a kite but managed to land safely on a tower. He and Hibari watched from a distance at what some would call a nuclear bomb, but others know as a punch. While he was falling, Garp was laughing his head off, arms crossed, thinking, I'm retired, but I can still humiliate anyone here. Now the problem was how that ship was going to land without shattering into pieces. The pirates couldn't even move from fear as Garp landed with style. Then, at the last second, the Zoro of the dark web made a soft mud cradle for the ship to land in, like a fluffy pillow. And check out the damage that a single galaxy impact from Garp caused. If he destroyed the entire city like this in his old age, Garp in his prime, no way, man, he could have split the world in half with that punch. Somehow, the pirates survived and started shouting that they'd make this old man pay, but the Marines told them not to take another step because they're under arrest in the name of the law. Buddy, Garp takes a good look around but says he's not satisfied because he's out of shape. I'm telling you, if he were in his prime, even the Straw Hats over in Egghead would have felt the quake. Even Enel on the moon would have felt the power. But the pirates got full-on mad, telling the old man to go back to his retirement home because he destroyed the entire city and still had the nerve to say he wasn't using his full strength. Kobe comes running to talk to Garp Garp, while Helmeppo, who was just keeping an eye on things, says he knew Kobe was alive, but in reality, he's crying like crazy, thanking God he didn't end up as a pancake. Kujaku said Garp is always this over the top, but the prince was fuming because the old man said Kobe is the future of the Marines. Now he's going to have to take down the kid. All the Marines were overjoyed that Kobe was okay, and Tashiji was calling him to come back home, and he just couldn't believe it. First, he thought nobody was gonna come save him because he's with sword, but in the end, even those who aren't with sword came to rescue the kid. Garp asks why he's still lugging around that ball, and Hibari says they couldn't get the cuffs off. She was about to ask the vice admiral to destroy them, but suddenly her body started freezing up, and she turned into a popsicle. Luckily, Kobe caught her before she hit the ground, or she would have been totally screwed. No one could believe it, and Garp had a deadly glare in his eyes because he came to save his current disciple but ended up finding his former one too. Aokiji shows up, telling them to chill out and asking what they think they're doing. Kobe asks if he's lost his mind and tells him to thaw Hibari out. Meanwhile, the pirates were cheering because Captain Kazan arrived. The kid begs the Iceman to thaw out Hibari, but Garp says it's no use. Aokiji couldn't let Kobe escape while Blackbeard was away, right? If you're living under a rock and don't remember why Aokiji left the Marines, here's a recap. 2 years ago, there was the epic battle to decide who'd be the next fleet admiral between Kazan and that bastard Akainu. But after 10 days of non-stop beatdowns, the baker came out on top. Except Ice Cream refused to serve under Akainu and resigned. Okay, so he left the Marines, turned rogue. Cool. But how did an ex-admiral end up in Blackbeard's crew? And I'll tell you, young grasshopper, it all started on an island in the New World. Blackbeard's pirates showed up, but everything was frozen solid. Everyone was running scared of them, and Teach was asking who the hell did all this. But he didn't really need to ask, right? Because there was only one person in the world capable of that. And of course, it was Aokiji. He froze Q, Vasco Shot, and even Wolf, who's bigger than the entire island. So, naturally, Teach was gonna tell him to thaw out his guys, right? But the Ice Uncle told him to quit whining, and he warned him not to even think about making an earthquake, or his men would go from popsicles to slushies. Plus, as captain, Blackbeard should have known his men started it, right? Not to mention they messed with the wrong guy who just quit his job, so he wasn't having any of it. And the episode ends. In the next episode, we're gonna see how this whole situation really went down. How did an ex-admiral of the Marines end up working under one of the 4 emperors of the sea? The short answer? Booze! The guys knocked back some beers and became best bud. Now that he's a pirate, Garp's former student is gonna have a showdown to the death with his old sensei. The title of the next episode is The Marines Are Shocked. Kuzan, the former Marine HQ admiral. Man, this episode was so epic it'll make your hair stand on end. Seriously, if that monstrous galaxy impact doesn't deserve your like, I don't know what does. And hey, I've got a deal for you. If this video hits 50 likes, I'll start bringing 3 videos a week again. You can't pass up a deal like that, right? So hit that like button, alright? Subscribe to the channel so we can hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. Only 999,400 to go. I believe we can do it. Thanks a ton for watching till the end. I'm signing off. Peace out.